Have you ever felt like something was off, but you just couldn't quite put your finger on it? Like every time you asked him a direct question, he just danced around the answer. Maybe you're running a business, maybe you're making big decisions, maybe you're balancing a team, and all at the same time, the one place where you should feel safe, at home, in your marriage, you feel like a fool. You sense something is happening behind your back, but every time you bring it up, he flips it on you. He makes you feel like you're the crazy one. And so you go back to pouring everything into your business or into others because at least there you feel like there's some sense of control. But in all reality, he's been playing you all along. And that's the reason why you're confused. And what you don't realize is that it's all the same. It's the manipulation that keeps you stuck in the relationship and that keeps you bleeding every single where in all of your lives. Keeps bleeding into your leadership, keeps bleeding into your parenting, keeps bleeding into how you show up to every single person. Today I'm going to break down exactly how narcissists hide their affairs, manipulate your reality, and keep you trapped in the relationship. If you guys are new here, my name is Ben Taylor. I'm a self-aware narcissist. I spent years manipulating, lying, and controlling just like the man that you're with right now. I see behind the mask because I'm the one who wore the mask and built the mask. I justified cheating. I controlled the narrative. And I made sure that the woman that I was with never ever questioned my reality until she did. And when she figured it out, I twisted everything so much that she looked crazy. She felt insecure and she questioned herself more than ever. That's exactly what you're going through right now. That's exactly what's happening to you. And if you don't wake up, you're going to lose years of your life, your confidence, maybe even how you show up to everyone else. So let's talk about how narcissists hide affairs and 5 layers of deception. The first layer is the too busy excuse. Let me guess, he's constantly just too busy. He tells you this. He's too busy with work. He's too busy with stress. He's too busy with friends. He's too tired for you, too drained to be present. But yet he's got time to be on his phone nonstop. He's got energy for last-minute business trips. And suddenly he has a late-night work call but can't tell you who it's with. Here's what's happening really. He's getting to the place where he's weaponizing work as a smokescreen, using it to be able to say, this is what's happening, but behind it, it's not. He knows that you're also driven. He knows that you've seen how you show up to your workplace. And he knows that you're ambitious and laser focused on certain things. So he's going to play into your world doing the same exact things. Like you get it. Like you get it, babe. You know how demanding business is. I have to take care of this. You understand, right? Like I need to network. I need to connect with other people. That's how business works. And because you're logical and because you're already hardworking, you don't question it until one day you start to realize that his work isn't just work. His networking events aren't just business meetings. And while you're staying up late working on all of the things that are happening at home, he's out celebrating with someone else. And here's the worst part. You start to feel guilty for even suspecting him because you've been conditioned to believe that questioning him and questioning your partner equals distrust because that's what he told you. But trust isn't just about believing the words. Trust is built on demonstrated actions. And his actions are telling you everything you need to know right here and right now. The next layer of deception is blaming you for typically his suspicious behavior. The best way to hide an affair is to tell you that you're the problem. He knows that you're sharp and he senses when something isn't right. So as a result, you start noticing something's going on. He's secretive about his phone. He's suddenly dressing better. He's hitting the gym more. He's being extra nice to you. And you're like, there's something happening. There's a shift. And you feel it. You just don't feel like a priority to him anymore. But the problem is you bring it up and he flips it back on you. Why are you so insecure? Why are you paranoid? Maybe you should see a therapist. Maybe you need to get help. You need to work on you. No wonder we're so disconnected. It's because you're so stuck on everything else that's going on. Now you're the crazy one. Now you're the one second guessing yourself. Now you're the one wondering, maybe it's just you overreacting. And for a second, while you're lost in self-doubt, he's getting away with everything else. And it's not just the cheating that's destroying you. It's simply the fact that every single time you ask a question, it doesn't matter what it is, he finds a way to make sure that you feel stupid for even asking. Over time, this rewires your brain. You go from a place where you were confident, you're high achieving, you're a woman who could run a business, who could show up in a healthy way, who could call the shots, who could make decisions, to someone who starts hesitating before you even speak, who wonders if she's being too emotional, who apologizes for sometimes basic things or apologizes for things that you didn't even do. And the moment you start doubting yourself, he's won. Because now, even though the truth is staring back at you in the face, you're too afraid to believe it. The third layer is deception. And that piece of deception is compartmentalization. And something that most women don't realize is narcissists don't just cheat, they compartmentalize. That means they separate their lives into different boxes. There's the wife box, that's you. The stable, predictable home life that he comes home to. And then there's the affair box, the secret, the thrill, the ego boost. The work box, the public image, the respectable, the professional. And none of these boxes overlap. None of these boxes crisscross. That's why he never seems nervous about it. That's why he never accidentally slips up, because they're in their own separate boxes. That's why no matter how much you investigate, you can never seem to find any proof. Because in his mind, what he does outside of your relationship doesn't count. When he's at home with you, he's the devoted husband in his mind. And when he's out, he's the charming, successful man who deserves to have his needs met. And if he ever does slip up, if you ever get to the place where you catch something, slip of the tongue, where something doesn't match up, he's already got his excuses already lined up. Well, she's just a friend. You're just overthinking things. It was a work meeting. You're imagining problems that don't even exist, because he's trained you to get to this place to question yourself and to believe him with every single thing that he throws at you, even when the evidence might be right there in front of your face. This isn't about his affair. It's about how he's compartmentalizing you. He's put you in your own box too. A box labeled, she'll never leave. A box labeled, she'll keep forgiving me. A box labeled, she won't figure it out. And he keeps you stuck in these boxes over a period of time. That's the real deception. It's not just the cheating, it's the fact that he sees you as a predictable variable in his life, a constant. A person that's never going to leave, is always going to stay, and he owns you. The only way to break that is for you to stop playing the role that he expects you to play. Stop waiting and looking for proof. Stop hoping that he's going to change. Stop trying to be the perfect partner in a relationship where the rules are rigged against you automatically. Because the moment you stop breaking the pattern, the moment is when he loses control. That's when the real truth starts to show. The fourth layer of deception is oftentimes keeping you financially and mentally drained. Let's talk about the real reason that you're exhausted all the time. It's not just because you're stressed out with work. It's not because of the overload of being a mom and taking care of the kids. It's not just balancing your business and your home life. It's not about the friends. It's not about any of that. It's about him. Narcissists drain your mental energy so that you get to a place that you have nothing left. Nothing left to question him about it. Like, think about it. You're constantly at this place where you're walking on eggshells. You're over-explaining yourself. You're justifying things that you do normally that are okay for you to do. You're spending hours replaying conversations in your head, doubting yourself, wondering, did I say it right? Am I the problem? And while you're caught inside of that storm, your focus and everything starts to slip. You start to second-guess major decisions in your life about you, about your life, about what needs to happen next. You feel burnt out, but you can't pinpoint what's happening. And you keep feeling like you're losing yourself. At first, you think it's just life. It's just burnout. It's just happening. You tell yourself, well, I just need a break. I need a vacation. I'll feel better once this project is done, once I complete this, once I move past this. But no matter what you do, the exhaustion doesn't seem to go away, because it's not about how much you're working. It's about how much he's actually draining you. Because every fight, every gaslighting moment, every lie is slowly breaking you down. Your ability to trust yourself, your ability to understand, your ability to have clarity. And when you start to lose trust in yourself, it shows up everywhere. You hesitate in business meetings. You start letting small things slide because you just don't have the energy to fight anymore. It's almost like you start giving up. You start feeling like you're maybe just not as sharp as you used to be. Maybe you're not as smart as what you used to be. And that's exactly what he wants. Because when you're tired, when you're confused, and when you're doubting yourself, you're much easier to control. You don't have the energy to investigate the lies that he's giving you. You don't have the confidence to confront him with something that you found out about. And you don't have the clarity to actually walk away. And that's why the cycle repeats over and over and over again. It's not because you're weak. It's not because you don't see what's happening. You've already seen it, which is why you're here. But because he keeps you so mentally exhausted that you can't even imagine the energy it would take to even leave this relationship. The worst part inside of this is not just the mental exhaustion. He could also be trying to trap you financially too. Because if you're with him, you've probably noticed something strange with money. Either he's controlling the finances completely, or he's just making reckless, selfish financial decisions. He's doing different things for him that you have to go around and you have to try to clean up his mess. You find yourself taking care of things that he should have already taken care of. Maybe he's doing stuff in secret. Maybe he's draining your bank account with purchases that you never agreed to. Maybe he's already set up another business, another LLC to kind of pull money away. He's making investments without consulting you. Or maybe he's just making sure that if you ever did leave or did want to leave, you wouldn't have the financial ability to do it. You wouldn't have the ability to see what's happening, because if he can keep you financially dependent, then at least make you feel that it's financially terrifying to even move forward. He wins. That's why so many women stay stuck. Not because they don't want to leave, but because they're afraid of what will happen if they actually do. If they take that next step, what will happen? And that fear is exactly what keeps you trapped in the relationship and stuck. The fifth layer of deception is the long game. Why he's never going to admit it. The final, most painful truth that you need to know is, even if you catch him, even if you have evidence, even if you have the proof, all the proof in the world, a picture in front of him, he'll never admit it. He'll deny, 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 deny. He'll double down on gaslighting. He'll flip it back on you until you're apologizing to him, till you're the one saying you're sorry for even looking at his phone. Why? Because admitting it means that you'd have to take responsibility. And narcissists don't take responsibility. They rewrite history. They change it up so he doesn't have to be accountable to you. He doesn't have to be accountable to the problems. Think about it for a moment. Think about the last time that you confronted him about something. Did he admit it? Did he admit it immediately? Did he acknowledge the pain that he actually caused? Or did he get to the place where he started bringing up all the ways that you failed him? The things that you did, even if it was years ago. And suddenly you remembered something you did, and now it seems like, well, you never fixed this. You never dealt with this. He turns the entire conversation around. So by the end of it, you're at the place where you're crying, you're apologizing, you're questioning and doubting even you. It's not a coincidence. It's a strategy that he implements to keep you stuck. Because if he admits at what he did, then he has to face the fact that he is the problem. Narcissists would rather burn down everything to the ground than actually admit that he was the problem. That's why even when you show him the evidence, he'll still deny it. That's why even if you have the receipts, you show him the pictures, you show him all those evidence there, he's still going to blame you. And even when you know deep down, I know that he's lying, I can see it, I can understand, I have proof, you still feel the need that you have to argue with him. Because you're trying to force him to tell the truth, but he's never going to tell the truth. Because truth is not what he cares about. Control is. And as long as he keeps you playing this game, as long as he keeps you confused, as long as he keeps you trying to get him to admit what you already know, he still has control over you. So let's talk about the real question here. How long are you going to let this affect your life? Your confidence, your business, your kids? How much longer are you going to keep waiting for proof that you already feel that you have, that you already know? Because if you keep waiting, here's what's going to happen. He'll keep draining you. Mentally, emotionally, keep draining all of your energy. He'll keep you in a rhythm of doubting yourself, and he'll keep getting away with it long term. And you'll keep losing time. That's the one thing you can't afford to lose. You can always make more money. You can always rebuild your confidence. You can always restart. You can always heal. But you can't get back the years that you waste waiting for him to change, waiting for something to be different. Because he's not going to change. Not for you. Not for the marriage. Not for the family. Not for anything. Because in order to change, he has to be honest. And if he's not willing to actually see that, he doesn't want to. That honesty and that vulnerability feel awful. He will always run away from that. So if you're waiting for that moment when he finally wakes up, all of a sudden realizes everything that he's lost, you're waiting for something that's never going to come. And the longer you wait, the more of yourself you lose. So if you're ready to reclaim your power, to get your power back, your confidence, and stop being manipulated by this guy, it's time for you to actually break free. I work with women who refuse to let toxic men control their life, control their success, control their family. If that's you, it's time to take the next step. I want you to go to rawmotivations.com and book a call. You don't need more proof. You don't need more things for you to understand. You just need a plan, a system, and a step-by-step that actually gets you free. That plan starts for you today. Go to rawmotivations.com/breakthrough now. Hey, just want to jump in here really quick and say you might have been watching my content for a period of time, but you haven't taken the next step. You haven't taken the next moment, the next idea, the next thought to actually change your life. And I want to provide you with a couple different options. One of the ways is to be able to work with me personally inside the Thriver Intensive. What I do inside of there is help you break the trauma bond, eradicate the triggers, and move forward in the healing process. You got 24/7 access to me. You've got access to other women who are going through it, access to other coaches, but a support system that you need to finally break free once and for all, and to make sure that you don't go back, that you don't interact with them again, and that you finally find peace. If you're interested in knowing a little bit more about this, then click on the link down below, but it'll be rawmotivations.com/breakthrough. You'll be able to hear a little bit from me. You'll be able to hear a little bit from my wife, and be able to hear a little bit more about what I do to help you move forward. If that resonates with you, click on the link below, rawmotivations.com/breakthrough.